get to travel on the galaxy with Joshua Ncube. Hey, Carl, good
What's up? How
morning.
you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm okay. Shout out to Feli. Wasn't she celebrating like a year or something? She's
A restaurant?
yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh, she's been doing it for a year.
she's one of
Successfully.
my babies. Like she used to help me with a lot of like my catering gigs. So
Oh,
it was pretty
lovely.
awesome to see her like in business in that regard. So
Oh,
shout out Feli.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
interesting, eh?
yeah.
Oh, wow. So today we're talking about national parks.
Yay.
Some information about our amazing national parks around Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
and what we can do and what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, national parks have been a pretty amazing and underutilized thing for Zimbabweans. And I thought as we're going into Heroes Weekend, a lot of people don't realize this, but most of your rural areas are actually close to national parks.
Hmm.
So they're literally like about maybe a half an hour or an hour drive from any kind of rural place in Zimbabwe. Because the way that the country is set up is that all the borders of the country kind of have national parks around them to allow for the free movement of animals from, let's say, South Africa or Botswana, whatever it is coming into the country. So people just kind of need to know that you're so close to a national park. So even kana Muchena Kumusha, you can actually take the day out and go drive to the national park and go and do a game drive.
Mm.
So yeah, so I was gonna take you through maybe 10 of what I think are my favorite national parks. Or on, I think there's one there that I haven't been to. But okay, so we'll start obviously the big boy of all the national parks, Wange National Park, which is the size of a country. So when people say, the question is
Where
where exactly did you
exactly?
go
Ooh.
and exactly what did you do? So
Mm.
what you need to understand, the national park is like, so the government sort of runs the national parks, right, in the interests of conservation and protecting like that kind of heritage. But in there are people with different concessions. So the concessions, they get to run their businesses in there in a way that protects the animals, but also allows people to come and visit. So in the national parks, there's lots of lodges and what people call machalets. Please don't use that word in my presence. Chalet.
Chalet.
Yeah, chalet. So chalets that are in there.
Kune
Kune
machalets.
machalets here. Mune machalets mangani. Arikuita man. So you can do anything, guys, from $5 per person right up to like 2,000 per person per night. So Kuwangi National Park, which is our biggest place, you can find the big five. So terminology in national park, big five refers to the lion, the rhino, buffalo, elephant, and leopard. So those are the big five animals, but you can get other things like the cheetahs, are there, wild dogs, and there's like maybe 400 plus bird species that you can find there. Saka birding is also a big thing. Then the second one, which is one of the most beautiful national parks we have, which is called Mana Pools. Now we call it Mana Pools, but it's actually Mana, as in four pools.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Hakana.
yeah. You were
Ayo,
today
Carl.
years old, and
Today is old.
yes,
Mana pulls.
mana my pools are four. So
Kana.
exactly.
Nelsie,
So
do you have this information?
Yes,
Huh?
so
yes,
Did you say yes?
yes, I know. Mana for four.
mana for
But I
four.
also learned it when we were there.
Am I the only one who was
Guys,
today is
Please
old?
write to us and tell us if you're today years old when you found
It
out
looks like
good.
mana, like
Man,
mana from
mana, like
heaven,
mana pools, right?
Yes,
Mana
mana
pools.
pools,
No,
like
it's
four.
mana former
Wow.
pools. Ariku.
Thank
Yeah.
you for this information.
Exactly. So those floodplains and stuff like that, that's where you see like large herds of elephant, buffalo, lion, leopard, and lots of bird life. I think it's one of my favorite places to go. Then obviously Susukwatova, the Victoria Falls National Park. So what people don't know is that Victoria Falls town is one of the only cities inside a national park. So when you're in Vic Falls, the minute you enter Vic Falls, or Pinda in the national park. So animals are always all over the place. It's not strange to see a monkey or a baboon jumping into the local supermarket because they love doing that. Yeah, they actually jump in and go to the noodles section for some reason. I don't know why all of our monkeys and baboons, they love Asian food. Anyway, so interesting stuff. So in the national park, that's where we've got the smoke that thunders, Mosia Tunya. Victoria Falls, so the rainforest, and it's just such a unique ecosystem. So stuff you can do there, the walking tours, the guided rainforest walks, adventure activities like bungee jumping, whitewater rafting stuff. So this is one of the main national parks where you can really interact with the national park. And then my number 4, which is actually, I think it should be my number 1, Nelson will correct me if I'm wrong, is the Gonarejo National Park. I thought that was pretty breathtaking. It's not as organized a national park. as I would like it to be. But considering that it's got the Chilojo Cliffs, which are probably one of the most amazing natural wonders that we have in this country, and not really sung about, and the thing is, when you see an elephant walking next to the cliff, that's when you realize how big the cliffs are. I think this is a must see for people. Chilojo Cliffs is totally awesome. Lots of little Tuma chalet, Tuma operators that are in all of those places. So I encourage you to go to the National Parks website. Then you can see who the operators are. And in fact, people think with the National Parks offices, Arimu National Park. Actually, Varimu Harare, like in the botanical gardens. So you can actually see them from that perspective and ask all of the questions you need to ask. Then there's the Matobo National Park. Which is another UNESCO World Heritage Site just outside Bulawayo. This is the burial site of Cecil John Rhodes, and it's an actual spiritual burial site for our old kings and in the Ndebele sort of clan. So there's quite a lot of stuff you can do: rhino tracking, horseback riding, the cave art tours, and then a visit to the World's View. A pretty spectacular place. Then Kumakomo Nyanga National Park, right in the Eastern Highlands. Again, it's one of those national parks where it's not as wild as the ones I've mentioned before, right? Because it's thick, lush green mountains, hills, waterfalls, cool weather. It's not a big five park, so you can do a lot of hiking and that kind of thing. But please make sure that you are consulting with the right guides and that kind of thing, because Nyanga is also a very mystic place as well. So I always say, when you travel to a place, respect local customs and and traditions. Then we have Matusadona National Park. So that's Lake Kariba. That's the national park surrounding Lake Kariba and the Kariba Basin, and I think it's absolutely breathtaking. For people who want to go Kuma groups, especially church groups, school groups, try to make sure that your numbers are 100 plus for people who are traveling to go to enjoy this, because you can actually book the ferry, which will take you from Kariba to a place called Milibisi. Milibizi, as the white people will call it. So I'm going to give pronunciation in English and in local language. So in Milibisi, from the Matusadona national parks. Matusadona. So there's a lot of fishing, you can stay on a houseboat, so this is one of the national parks where you can enjoy being in the water. Now we come to the one that I've never been to, which is the fourth largest.
You say you've only not been to one?
Yeah, one on this list, which is Chisarira National Park, right? Apparently, it's the fourth largest national park in Zimbabwe. So it's one of the most remote and least visited parks, rugged terrain, deep gorges. This is like a hiker's dream. And there's a lot of things to see. One of the famous things is the Taita Falcon. The activities that you can do is like the guided wilderness trails, walking safaris, but it's not for the faint-hearted. This is kind of why inexperienced. This is why you only hear like white people talk about Chisarira. I promise Steve, because I wouldn't make any more white jokes today. But Chisarira is the only
Vic Falls, eh?
You see, probably is about to go to Chisarira at the moment. How are you doing, Steve? I hope you're enjoying yourselves. And then you've got Chimanimani National Park, home to another legislator who's white, by the way. One of my favorite musicians, Honorable Joshua Sako.
Yes.
Because he's got my name as well, so that's his constituency. But people don't know this. Chimanimani has waterfalls for days, guys. Like they have waterfalls just generally everywhere, right? And it's just a must visit, and you must go and do the mountain hiking, the rock climbing, the kind of stuff that Joshua Ncube can't do, because obviously it's not disability accessible. But we are going to check and some cables, for some of us who are disabled. Then there's the Zambezi National Park, right? So Zambezi National Park is just upstream from the Victoria Falls National Park. Right? So it's great for the safaris. There's a lot of game operators that are in that particular area, and it's quite a beautiful and pristine national park. So I wanted to just go through a few of your essentials, things that you should do when you are going to visit a national park, right?
Okay.
So first, pack neutral colored clothing, guys. And kwete kupfeka underwear and zebra stripes and that kind of thing, because then you look like you are advertising for the animals that are there. Just try and not go for bold colors. Don't color block, okay?
Okay.
Try and go in safari. Safari, bring a hat, bring sunscreen, insect repellent, right? A good pair of binoculars. These are things that you should be buying, right? And keeping on the side for these safaris. And also your camera is going to be very, very important. So make sure good my damper my pictures in your essay of people what do people do these days? My selfies where they're doing duck face. Obviously my pictures and then save space for when you go on to your safari. Then also consult your doctor about stuff like taking malaria prophylaxis and that kind of thing, because most of the places are malaria risk areas. Usaito kunge isusu ana Ncube isusu tave immune to malaria for some reason. I think we've been staying in national parks too long. So always carry.
Maybe you are immune now.
I think so, right? I think we've taken enough of the prophylaxis and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So they should pack first aid kit is always very, very important. It's not good you're going to be mauled by a lion, but you could get like twigs or whatever it is that get you when you're walking in the bush. Go check, because there's a lot of the plants have self-defense mechanisms, right? So you also need to be very careful of the plants. 4x4 vehicle is very important. Please don't drive to national parks and start complaining because the roads are bad. That's the whole experience, guys.
Right.
You're in the bush. We're not going to be grading the national park. Yeah, no. I'm saying any low suspension. Musa ine low suspension cars. Nyetso enda ine motikari dzine msoro dzokuti dzinokwanisa kupinda mu bush. But yeah, don't take my aqua. And yes, I know kuti makapiwa, but musa send off-road nima aqua. And you munozo makwadza. Then you'll have to be writing again online. Muchita boss tazokwadza aqua. Don't know. All right, won't go there. Anyway, and then so always book your accommodation and activities in advance. Go and do your due diligence. In every national parks, go and actually find out what they have. Get pictures. Look at reviews. Look at what other people's experiences have been. Measure your own expectations according to how you're traveling. If you're going to go to a place that's not really set up nicely, also go already prepared. Take extra blankets, take air mattresses, take extra lights or solar lights, because you're there for the safari experience. And then we just look at a few, I don't know if we have time to go through rates, but for example, there's rates that are there, like the entry fees range between $15 and $20 per person per day. SADC residents pay again that 10 to 12 per person per day. But the people who are not Zimbabwean, so non-residents is 20, SADC 12, then Zimbabweans 3. Sorry, I said it the opposite way. Yeah, then your vehicles will pay something between 5 to 10 US dollars for a locally registered car. Then a foreign registered car will be 10 to 15. To not charge our visitors more, obviously, because we're doing a lot of conservation work and we just want to make sure, Kuti, that area is kept okay. So the locals are being subsidized, but the actual rates are the ones that the foreigners are paying. So don't look at it as the foreigners are paying more. We are the ones who are paying less.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so your camping accommodation, for those who want to do, it's $5 to $15 per person per night. Self-catering lodges could be between 30 and 100 plus per person per night, depending on the park and the facility that you're booking. Try and book the ones that have like my group rooms and stuff like that, so that you can actually spread the cost amongst all of you. So, and then just a bit in terms of like terminology that you need to know is... you need to know, firstly, game drives are important. You must always do a game drive every day, right? You're going to find different things. Start early. Game drives are best done first thing in the morning, later towards dusk, which is like sunset. And no terms like pans. So a pan is not something you cook in. It's where water has been put for animals to actually come and drink. So usually find out where the pans are, because that's where you get a lot of the game activity as they come down to drink. No stuff like scat. Scat is the poop from certain animals. It will allow you to be able to track. So you need to be able to see what kind of scat is on the ground. Birding is an important thing. Certain birds, again, get a birding book and you will see that there's a wealth of knowledge that you can get from some of the birds. We have some of the most amazing birds. People travel all the way to see the birds here. Vanhu vanoti coffee inovava hativade kuma national parks, guys. Hatikudei mimi. munotinetsa imimi makuseni because coffee is the most amazing part of your national park day, guys. Makuseni, you can't drink tea, guys. Tea is not cool. It's a nice cup of coffee. Coffee. And then Zivai Kuchagama viewing decks. The viewing decks are also good areas where you can actually go view the animals from the top. You can even have a braai at the bottom. Some national parks is actually been developing a lot of these places. Oh, by the way, I'm not being paid by national parks. So if I say something wrong, please go and consult their website. Always do sundowners at sunset, guys. Samirire kuita musaite ma drinks kuma 1, try kuma 5. It's always much better to do your sundowners, right? Always have someone organize a fire pit for you so that you can tell stories around the fire. Most of our national parks, there's rangers in the van who are looking out for your safety. So they'll tell you if maybe you were braaiing kakanyama and there's hyenas in the distance, you'll hear them laughing. So your guides and rangers are always going to be there. And also look out for when national parks are organizing a game count. Game count is the most amazing thing. If you're a young person, you can actually join the game count to go with other people and count the animals in the national park. Wanaita census very regularly. So this is something.
So is it open to all if you want
Yeah,
to?
Absolutely. So you volunteer and then you get put up into groups, and the groups are staying in different camps, and then you get to count the animals. So you meet some people who have been doing game counts quite regularly, or you also meet people who are doing it for the first time. But I recommend, if you're a young person, this is one of the easiest and cheapest ways to experience our national parks. Write to them, find out when you can join the game count. Or alternatively, maybe let me do this. Join my group on WhatsApp. So our travel group, just send us a message on 0774 280 810 and just write game count or safari or holiday. Just send us anything that has something to do with or galaxy travel or Miss Weekend.
Coffee Novava.
Yeah, Coffee Novava. Coffee Novava Sakatoita say. So just remember 0774 280 810. And then we will point you, and we are putting all of these things that we're putting are actually articles that are on a website, which is zim365travel.com. So everything we've been talking about, every episode, we've been discussing, we've been putting onto our website.
Wow, Carl, it's always a joy to have you live in the studio talking about travel.
Yes.
It's like we're actually doing the tour.
Yeah, in the studio.
Exactly. We have a virtual reality 360 somewhere taking us around and going all those beautiful places. We look forward to next week's session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.